Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, and on behalf of Milton Academy Live, I am coming to you live from Helfrich Field at the Meadows at Loomis Chaffee School in Windsor, Connecticut. Here to bring you this first round quarterfinal matchup of the NEPSAC Class A Boys Soccer Tournament. Today's contestants, we have the hosting 4th-seeded Loomis Chaffee School Pelicans and the visiting 5th-seeded Milton Academy Mustangs. The winner of this match will go on to the Class A semifinals, where they will likely face off against the number 1 seed, as they'll face the winner of the 1-8 matchup, also taking place in the quarterfinals. It'll be hosted by the top seed, by the higher seed of the two teams that advance. And then if they continue to advance, the championship of this tournament will be played right back here at Loomis Chaffee. Semifinals are set to take place on Saturday and the finals on Sunday. And it's a funny way the way fate works, as both these teams actually faced off with the exact same seedings 2 years ago in the 2019 tournament. Of course, last year due to COVID there was no tournament, but in last year's tourney, Milton Academy came away with the upset victory over Loomis Chaffee 3-1 as the start of a Cinderella run all the way to the finals, where unfortunately the Mustangs were dealt a heartbreaking loss in penalty kicks to Worcester Academy. So the Mustangs right back at the location of their last playoff game 2 years ago. The upperclassmen from this year's team were the underclassmen all the way back then in 2019. We'll see what they have in store for us today. In the meantime, let's read off the rosters before we get started. Scoreboard clock shows a little less than 6 minutes before we get underway, so let's get through this. First off, we'll read off the roster for the visiting 5th-seeded Milton Academy Mustangs. First off, we have a junior goalkeeper from West Newton, Massachusetts, number 0, Tommy Hong. A freshman goalkeeper from Milton, Massachusetts, number 00, Davis Kahn. A junior keeper from Dorchester, Massachusetts, number 1, Mateo Buyu. A senior midfielder from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 2, Griffin McGillivray. A junior back from Greenville, Rhode Island, number 3, Jack Graham. A junior back from Newton, Massachusetts, number 4, Nick Catherson. A senior midfielder from Hong Kong, number 5, Greg Yao. A senior midfielder and back from Ipswich, Massachusetts, number 6, Finn Hackett. A senior wing from Needham, Massachusetts, number 7, Wyatt Wally. Though I think actually Wyatt Wally has been wearing number 6 for much of this season, so I'll try and stay on top of that. I forgot there's a couple mistakes in the roster I was originally given at the start of the season, but I'll keep on top of it as best I can. A senior midi and back from Newton, Massachusetts, number 8, Henry Richter. A senior wing and forward from Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, number 9, Gavin Randolph. A senior midfielder and back from Newton, Massachusetts, number 10, Zach Sardi Santos. A senior forward and wing from Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, number 11, Luke Randolph. A junior midi and forward from New York, New York, number 13, Aiden Chuang. A senior back from Newton Center, Massachusetts, number 14, Noah Lippa. A junior forward and wing from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 15, Will Gallagher. A senior midi and forward from Tirana, Albania, number 16, Boyd Nako. A freshman forward and wing from Brookline, Massachusetts, number 17, Silas Lawrence. A junior wing and back from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 18, Jack Flowers. A senior midfielder from Natick, Massachusetts, number 19, Matthias Kemper-Tapia. A senior wing and forward from Wellesley, Massachusetts, number 20, Conrad Brown. A sophomore forward and wing back from Canton, Massachusetts, number 21, Anthony Rosito. A freshman midi from Mattapan, Massachusetts, number 22, Hayes Benzan. A junior back and wing from Lunenburg, Massachusetts, number 23, Aiden Rodriguez. A senior back from Georgetown, Massachusetts, number 24, Quince Berkeley. A junior midfielder from Blue Hill, Maine, number 25, Jonah Rie. A junior wing from Dedham, Massachusetts, number 26, Cameron O'Rourke. A sophomore forward and wing from Lilongwe, Malawi, number 27, Christian Kakholm. A freshman back and midi from Lexington, Massachusetts, number 28, Alejandro Palacio. A sophomore back from Bar Harbor, Maine, number 29, Walker St. Germain. A sophomore midi from Sharon, Massachusetts, number 32, Danny Lee. And finally, a freshman back from Cohasset, Massachusetts, number 34, Mason Komu. Head coach for the Milton Academy boys soccer team is Chris Kane, with assistant coaches Chris Lewis, Hesrick Richards, and Ian Torney. We are now a little less than a minute away from starting off this NEPSAC Class A boys soccer quarterfinal between visiting 5th-seeded Milton Academy and hosting 4th-seeded Loomis Chaffee. Once again, on behalf of Milton Academy Live, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, thanking you for tuning in for some playoff soccer action. And we can see the Pelicans are the first to take the field out of their huddle. Playing from my left in the red jerseys with white jersey numbers, while Milton Academy now coming out in their white jerseys with some neat dark blue and orange stripes in the front, and I believe some orange jersey numbers. Looking at the starters for Milton Academy, it looks like number 1, Mateo Buyu, will be getting starting duties between the pipes for the Mustangs. Meanwhile, for the Pelicans, it will also be their number 1, and that is a junior keeper from Newington, Connecticut, Sebastian Pliska. So Buyu versus Pliska in the nets today to start things off. As once again, a rematch of the first round of the 2019 tournament, which of course the most recent tournament that's been played, as we didn't have one last year. Among the starters for Milton Academy, you can see in there number 16, Boyd Nako, number 5, Greg Yao, number 4, Nick Catherson, number 7, Wyatt Wally. Looks like he is wearing number 7 today, unless I'm mistaken. If I'm getting anybody's names wrong or any pronunciations wrong, please let me know in the live chat. I like to get things as accurately as I can. Looks like Loomis Chaffee will get the opening possession to start us off. And at the middle, getting ready to get this underway, is the senior forward, number 11, Oliver Martin. 45 minutes on the clock for this first half. Milton Academy against Loomis Chaffee. Here we go. The pass goes back to number 10. The launching kick is deflected nicely by Milton Academy, but it's recovered by Martin. Martin tries to send a pass, deflected away by Wally and out of bounds. They're going to say ball stays with Loomis Chaffee, but it's overruled. A nice heads-up deflection by number 7, Wyatt Wally, as he now throws this one in. It's deflected down, deflected into the air, near the sideline. They're scrumming for it a bit, lost out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Milton Academy. The throw-in from Wally goes off ahead. Zach Sardi-Santos trying to control it, dribbling his way through. A nice touch pass, but just out of reach of number 11, Luke Randolph. Almost a huge chance there, but in fact, this could turn into a different kind of huge chance, as this is a corner kick for Milton Academy already. Heading to the corner is Sardi-Santos. We are just at the start of the second minute of this contest. Sardi-Santos launches this one high into the air, off the head of a Pelican, and off another head, headed back towards the box, but ultimately cleared away off the head of a Loomis Chaffee player. Couple taps ahead to number 9, and now he heads for a streaking number 7, who almost gets through. Clutch deflection by Nick Catherson, and Loomis Chaffee has to reset. Number 10 now dribbling around the middle, sends a long crossing pass all the way to number 4 on the far side. He's now heading down the line. A long launching kick is going to bounce all the way to Mateo Buyu in the box. That long kick coming from Peter Sharstein. Number 7, Austin Bush, almost had a big chance off the touch pass, but slightly off the mark, and Nick Catherson took advantage for a big deflection. Milton Academy now trying to get things moving. A couple deflections, and it's going to be taken by Loomis Chaffee. Pass over to the far side. And now a long pass deflected away by Wally and recovered by Milton Academy. Booted away. Big clearing kick. Goes all the way back to the Pelicans' number 12. This pass just off the mark from an off-balance number 7. Slide tackle by Henry Richter fails, but it's kicked out by St. Germain. Throw in from number 12 finds number 7, passed back to 12. Kick towards the middle, misses number 8, and it's fought off. Passed ahead for Luke Randolph, but he lost his balance, and it's taken away by the Pelicans. Now number 6 taps it ahead to number 7. 7 sends a pass to the middle, booted away by St. Germain, and the tap goes back to nobody, taken away by Loomis Chaffee's number 10. Pass gets deflected right back to him, and now a leading pass down the far side. Big chance pass for number 11, and they lost control of it. The extra pass turned out not to be the right move there, as they just could not keep control of it. Now bringing speed down the far side. That's Gavin Randolph coming around the edge. Big chance for Randolph. Centering kick is just barely contained. Almost a juicy rebound for Luke Randolph, but barely hauled in by Pliska. Now they work the ball upfield. This goes to Bush. Number 7, Bush, collides with his teammate Kieran Chandler, and they lose the ball out of bounds. Quick throw in from Wally goes back to Henry Richter. Richter pass ahead, finds Yao. Greg Yao taps it back to Richter. Richter now boots this one in the air. Deflected out of bounds by Loomis Chaffee's number 21, Henry Glover. Quick throw-in goes to Sardi-Santos. Sardi-Santos tries to tap one through for Luke Randolph. A couple deflections, and Randolph takes it anyway. Pass deflected away. Now Loomis Chaffee working on the clear. Bush barely keeps it in bounds, but his pass is then intercepted by Richter. Richter now launches it across the field, intercepted by number 4. Kick ahead is deflected and taken by Catherson off the long kick from Sharstein. Pass over to the far side to, I believe, Gavin Randolph. Now goes back to Catherson. Back ahead to Gavin Randolph. And then back again to Catherson. Catherson's pass misses the mark, but Gavin Randolph's going to give chase to it. He beats Sharstein there and gets around the edge. Gavin Randolph again threatening. Pass deflected away. out of bounds, and this is going to be a corner for Milton Academy. Gavin Randolph bringing all kinds of threats off the far side for the Mustangs early here, and now he'll be launching the corner kick here in the 6th minute. And it's a low bouncing kick, and the deflection goes out of bounds. They're going to say off Milton Academy. This will be a goal kick for Pliska. Pliska quickly sends it over to one of his backs, number 18. Passed ahead to Sharstein. Sharstein sends it ahead, finds his target. But this centering pass is deflected away by Sardi Santos. Catherson kicks it ahead, but it deflects right back to him. Catherson with a fancy spin gets tripped up from behind. Number 9 takes the ball away. Pass over to number 6. Now a pass over to 9 on the far side. Trying to work against Catherson, but no dice there. But now a deflection, and it's taken by number 6, coming around the edge, centering kick. St. Germain's right there, manages to deflect it out, and that's going to set up a corner kick. The hustle from Chandler set things up big time there. After number 9, Asa Moskowitz couldn't quite fight through, Chandler was able to fight and draw the corner. Big corner kick from the left-handed kicker, deflected. I believe that went off of Catherson and then scooped up by Buyu. Buyu now rifles it over to Wyatt Wally on the near side. Wally fakes the big kick and dribbles. Now launches a big kick all the way across the field. He's got Sardi Santos. Sardi Santos dribbling with it. Now launches a pass for Boyd Nako. Nako fires! Scores! Boyd Nako puts Milton Academy on the board! Fantastic passing from Milton Academy. Wyatt Wally with a long pass across the field to find Zach Sardi Santos. And then, oh no. And then Sardi Test. Okay. Sorry. What? Test. Okay. I don't know what happened. Oh, come on. What's happening? Test. Okay. Looks like I'm back for now. Sorry about that audio mix-up there, but Milton Academy does take the 1-0 lead off the goal from Boyd Nako, assisted by Zach Sardi Santos. Now, after the failed offensive push from Loomis Chaffee, this is Nick Catherson taking the free kick, and he sends it right back to Buyu. Buyu sends it over to Walker St. Germain. St. Germain, nice pass out to Wally. Wally tries to fake out his opponent and tap it. Ball is lost out of bounds, and they're going to say Loomis Chaffee ball. Number 12 throws it into number 10. Pass back to 12. 12 back to 21, and now across to 18. 18 swings it over to number 4, Sharstein. Passed ahead to number 6, Chandler, who then sends it over to, I believe, number 9, Moskowitz, but it's taken away. Sardi Santos taps it ahead to Gavin Randolph, who then gives it back to Sardi Santos. Sardi Santos had the assist on the goal by Boyd Nako. An early goal and an early 1-0 lead within the first 10 minutes of the action here at Helfrich Field in Windsor, Connecticut. Now a penalty called against Loomis Chaffee, and Catherson again just sends it back. Pass is swung over to St. Germain. Now he gives it over to Richter. Henry Richter launches one high, and it's going to go off the head of Sharstein into open space, collected by Yao. Yao passes back to Catherson, who sends it ahead for Gavin Randolph. Randolph can't fight through his defender, but it's deflected out of bounds by Sharstein. Throw in now And now a big kick towards the box. It skips into the arms of Pliska. No score there. Number 12, Malcolm McPherson, passes over to Bush. McPherson takes it again, kicks it ahead, finds Chandler. Chandler, now a pass over for number 11, Oliver Martin. Martin taps it ahead, finds Bush. Bush trying to tap it back to Martin. Martin trying to fight his way through. Takes a shot just wide, but then a recovery. Shot just wide again. They're trying to argue, and I think they're going to win that argument, that went off of Buyu's fingertips. I believe that was Moskowitz who almost buried that juicy rebound after a shot went just wide from Oliver Martin. Milton Academy lucks out. Can their luck continue off the corner kick? Booted towards the middle. Weird deflection. Collected by Bush. Pass back to McPherson. Back into the box. Collected by number 10. Being pursued and double teamed. Pass back out to Martin. Martin fakes. Tap pass back to Martin. Martin trying to come around the edge, running out of room, and gets the deflection out of bounds. This will be another corner. Loomis Chaffee not backing down in the face of this early deficit. They are bringing the pressure here. We are only in the 11th minute of action, if you can believe it. So much has already happened. And now Martin again lining up for the corner. Launches this one high, deflects, and booted away by Milton Academy. McPherson takes it out of bounds, throws it in, finds number 8, Alonzo Clark, passed over to Sharstein on the far side. Sharstein launches it off the head of St. Germain and out of the box, but chased down by Bush. He tries to kick a pass back, but nice deflection by Nako. Nako now passes over to Gavin Randolph on the far side. Randolph fakes out his defender. Now a pass attempted, deflected away. And what is going on? Test. Okay. I don't know why this keeps cutting out. I might have to switch to my exterior mic. I don't know why this keeps happening every time I cover boys soccer. I swear, my technology must be cursed. McPherson now with the ball, loses control. Luke Randolph takes it. Lost out of bounds. Throw in, it's taken by Loomis Chaffee, passed ahead. This is number 10, pass back to McPherson. Couple of passes. Sorry about that. Heads towards the middle to Clark. Alonzo Clark sends it back to number 18. Now all the way back to Pliska. Now over to 21. 21 sends it over to McPherson. Sends a pass through the legs for Bush. Bush has to try and tap it back to McPherson, but loses it out of bounds. And now quickly they're trying to work it. This is Sardi Santos. Pass to the middle to Richter, but he lost the ball. Stolen away by Chandler. Pass ahead, finds Martin. Martin launches one too far. That's out of bounds. Throw in here, goes back. Swung over to St. Germain. Ahead to Richter, back to St. Germain. Now pass swung over to the other center back, whose jersey number I can't quite see. His pass intercepted. Now a leading pass for Martin. Big chance for Oliver Martin. Deflected away. Good efforts by the Milton Academy defense. I believe that was Walker St. Germain who came up with that big play there. Loomis Chaffee now trying to reset. Pass goes back. What is... No. Test. What? Test. Okay, if this keeps cutting out, I'm just going to switch to my external mic. My sincerest apologies. I don't know what is happening with this today. As this pass now sent all the way back. And now swung over to number 21, Henry Glover. Passed ahead to McPherson. McPherson pass ahead for Martin. Deflects, but Martin recovers. Couple passes back with Martin, but then booted away. Now they're trying to recover. Number 10 fakes, passes, finds Chandler. Shot, deflects. Juicy chance, but just recovered. Again, great defensive efforts by Walker St. Germain. And Mateo Buyu scoops it up. Wyatt Wally passes ahead for Richter, and now back to Wally. Wally sends it up the line. Richter trying to lead himself now, but he can't win the race to the ball. Luke Randolph keeps it in play, but McPherson clears it out. Pass goes ahead to number 10, William Cleary, but now after a couple deflections, it's taken by Kieran Chandler. Passed back to number 18, Kerrigan Cullinan. Now sent along the far side. That's Sharstein, passes ahead, a touch pass, finds Martin, Oliver Martin dribbling, pass along the far side to Moskowitz, now trying to lead Sharstein. Sharstein sending it to the middle to Martin. Martin has to pass back, and a fake trying to keep control of the ball is Moskowitz. He gets a pass away to Sharstein, kick towards the box. Bush had it for a second but lost his balance while Wyatt Wally takes it away, clears it out. Glover sends it back ahead, finds Chandler. Chandler now a pass over to the near side Cleary. Cleary back to Chandler. Now a touch pass for Bush. Back out to Cleary. Cleary back to Bush. Back, and now back to Bush again. Quick passing. Bush trying to fight his way through. Can't do it, but gets it to Martin. Martin now a pass to a wide open Chandler. Chandler fires, deflected away. Have yourself a game, Walker St. Germain. Another corner kick for Loomis Chaffee after the last-minute deflection by the back, Walker St. Germain. Oliver Martin again lining up for the corner kick. 1-0, the score still in favor of Milton Academy here in the first half. Martin launches this one high, off ahead, booted away by the Milton Academy defense. Now Clark sends the pass back to Glover. Glover kicks it all the way back to Pliska. Pliska now kicks it ahead to Glover, and Glover sends it ahead to Sharstein. Now to the middle, lost, kicked away by Sardi Santos. Race to the ball, and Glover gets there first and kicks it out of bounds. A mass of substitutions now checking in for Milton Academy off of this out-of-bounds play. Throw in here, gets past the target and picked up by Pliska. Now rolled out for McPherson. McPherson pass finds Bush. Bush to the middle finds Clark. Clark over to Bush. Back to Glover. Now swung over for Cullinan. Cullinan now sends it over to Sharstein. Sharstein sends it ahead for Chandler. A touch over to Moskowitz. Moskowitz trying to fight his way through. Sends a pass. Finds Chandler. Chandler coming up the far side. Hits traffic. Tries to tap it through to the middle. Too many white shirts and it's kicked away. But then it's stolen back by Cleary for a second. A scrum for the ball with a bunch of players. Martin finds a wide open Bush, but he lost his balance. Turns around and shoots, but St. Germain is right there. Wally clears it out, and it's launched upfield and out of bounds. Another lucky break for Milton combined with some great defensive efforts, and they maintain their 1-0 lead. Pass now goes back to Cullinan. Now over to Sharstein. Back to Cullinan. Cullinan pass to Clark. Now over to Sharstein. Sharstein sends a pass ahead to Chandler, who taps it over for Moskowitz. Moskowitz trying to bring it up the far side. Gets around Catherson, but Catherson recovers. And pass over to Martin. Martin dribbling towards the middle. Tries to tap. Kick by Cleary, deflected by Richter. The deflection goes back to Moskowitz. Moskowitz kick deflected by Catherson, recovered and passed back. Now pass over to Moskowitz, tapped over. And now I think that's Cleary who passed it back to Moskowitz. Now off the head of Cleary, off the foot of Catherson and out of bounds. Throw in for Loomis Chaffee as they try and reset things. Stolen away now by Milton Academy. I think that was Richter. Favorable deflection, and it will stay Milton Academy ball. Throw in goes back to Catherson. Launched into the air, off a head, off another head. More deflections, ultimately taken by Chandler. Passed back to Sharstein and then back to Chandler. Pass gets past everybody. Catherson takes it, kicks towards the middle. They barely keep control of it, but lose it out of bounds. And now it's Loomis Chaffee ball. Throw in goes to Clark. Alonzo Clark launches! Just missed wide. Might have been deflected by Buyu. And they're going to say Buyu did not touch it. That will be a goal kick for Milton Academy. "24 minutes left here in the first half. Milton Academy 1, Loomis Chaffee 0. The lone goal coming from Boyd Nako, assisted by Zach Sardi Santos. Goal kick goes into Catherson. Catherson boots it high. Now off the head of Cullinan. Goes ahead to Chandler. Chandler dribbling around, surveying his options. Sends one out to the far side. And now pass goes back to Sharstein. To the middle to Clark. Stolen away. Tapped back to Richter. Richter trying to fight his way through. Manages to tap it back. Now a pass ahead. They're trying to lead him. And it skips into the arms of Pliska. Now McPherson bringing it up the near side. He's got plenty of room to work. Sends a pass out to Bush on the near edge. Coming around the edge is Bush. He gets tripped up from behind by Wally. And the refs eat their whistles, and the ball is lost out of bounds for a goal kick. Buyu kicks over to Catherson, and now back to Buyu. Buyu now launches this one high into the air, deflects off of Glover. Now Richter kicks it ahead. Now McPherson takes it, and now it's taken by Wally. Wally can't quite control it, but he pokes it ahead, chased down by Glover, and tapped out of bounds. Anthony Rusito providing the pressure from behind. Wally throws it in to Rusito. Rusito fighting his way through a defender and gets tripped up. No whistle. Again, the refs swallowing those whistles. This is playoff soccer. Chandler pass ahead. Martin with the touch finds Bush. Bush tries for a fancy pass, barely kept in bounds by Chandler, and somehow not lost out of bounds, and somehow no penalties called in either direction. St. Germain takes it, passes, sent ahead to Yao, now sent over to Catherson. Catherson coming around the edge, dribbling towards the middle. He's got some space, still trying to gain the edge, still going, finally poked away by Moskowitz and taken away by the Pelicans. Pass goes ahead to Chandler, tapped back to Cleary. Cleary passes for Clark, who taps it back to Cleary. Now sends it back ahead to Clark. Now a pass for Martin. Big chance for Oliver Martin. Coming around the edge, looking for his space. Centering kick, headed away by St. Germain. Martin recovers it. Pass back to Chandler, now back to Martin. Now back into the box, booted away by Richter. And taken, I believe, by Boyd Nako for a second, but then lost. Stolen away, pass back to Cullinan. Pass ahead to Clark. Clark sends it back to Glover. Glover now sends it ahead to McPherson. McPherson dribbling, pass for Cleary. Cleary coming around the middle, floats it up, and that one might have too much air under it, or will it? No, it's recovered and kept in bound by Moskowitz. Pass back to Sharstein. Now ahead to Chandler. Chandler over to Cleary, to Moskowitz, ahead to Cleary. Cleary can't get around the edge, but does get the favorable deflection. This will be Loomis Chaffee ball. Throw in, Loomis Chaffee looking for an opportunity, pass into open space, booted away by St. Germain. Chased down by Glover, pass ahead to McPherson. He gets around a slipping Wally. Now a pass to the middle to Martin. Martin coming up the middle, pass, tapped back to Martin. Martin decides to boot it back to Sharstein. Sharstein looking around. Pass, another touch. Fires, save by Buyu. Mateo Buyu surveying his options after that save, decides to just roll it over to Henry Richter. Richter swings a pass over to Walker St. Germain. St. Germain fakes, gets through one but can't get through another, does recover the ball, passes it back to number 6, Finn Hackett. Hackett swings it over to Catherson. Catherson dribbling. His kick is deflected, but recovered by Nako. Boyd Nako dribbling with the ball. Looking around, gets a kick ahead, finds his target. Tapped over now. Richter, attempted touch pass for Rosito, just off the mark, intercepted by Cullinan. His kick cannot clear, though, but I think they called a penalty on Rosito. Too much pressure on Cullinan as he was trying to clear the ball. Now the free kick goes back to Pliska. Now swung over to McPherson. McPherson dribbling. Sends it back to Clark. Clark floats it up. Sharstein's kick deflected. Recovered by Chandler. Now swung over to McPherson. McPherson's pass finds Martin. Martin being swarmed by the Milton Academy defense. Fights his way through Wally. Now heading towards the middle. Gets a pass over to an open Clark, but he just misses. And sliding in and kicking it away is Greg Yao. Now Milton Academy trying to counter. That kick is deflected but recovered. I believe this is Nako sending a pass. Intercepted by McPherson, and now McPherson running it the other way. Pass to the middle, booted away by Yao. Deflected and kicked out of bounds. This will be Milton Academy ball. We got some subs checking in now for the Mustangs. Oh, shoot. Not again. Oh, please. Okay, all right. That was a short loss of audio, but I think I've got things under control now. Milton Academy cannot keep on the attack as this one is recovered by Clark. Pass out to McPherson on the near side. Floated up, finds Bush. Bush pass to the middle to Clark. Clark has to send it back in retreat to Cullinan. Less than 17 minutes left in the first half. Milton 1, Loomis Chaffee 0. Pass goes back to Pliska. Pliska floats one up for McPherson. Downs it, gets a pass back to Glover, who floats it in the air, off the head of St. Germain and out of bounds. Quick throw in from McPherson, and a miscommunication with Chandler, and the ball is lost out of bounds. Now number 2, Griffin McGillivray throws it in, tapped right back to McGillivray. Triangle of passes, but ultimately lost, taken away by Clark. Passed ahead to Chandler. Chandler trying to fight off Sardi Santos. Sends it out to the far side to Sharstein. Sharstein tries to send it ahead, finds Moskowitz. Passed back to Cullinan. Cullinan sends a pass ahead, tapped over to Chandler. Now back to Sharstein. Pass goes ahead to Moskowitz, deflected away, and it's ultimately out of bounds. That'll be Loomis Chaffee ball deep in the Milton Academy end. Throw in. Loomis Chaffee trying to find their best option. Clark passes ahead to Chandler. Chandler sends it out to the far side to Sharstein. Towards the middle, deflects to Chandler. Chandler trying to get control back. Pass back to Clark. Clark loses the ball, gets stood up by the defense, and it's booted all the way back to Cullinan. Swung over to Glover. Now over to McPherson. McPherson back to Glover. Glover dribbling around. Sends a pass way over. Sharstein is going to have to chase this one down. And now kicks it up the line for Moskowitz. Moskowitz fighting to keep control. And now a couple passes go back to Sharstein. Sharstein gets tripped up from behind. No call. And Milton Academy now with the ball as it deflects back to Sardi Santos. Sardi Santos trying to fight his way through, but deflected away by Chandler. Taken. And now a long floater for Bush. Bush has it on the near side with space to work. Pass deflected away by St. Germain. Walker St. Germain has been everywhere defensively so far today. And now we've got another corner kick for Loomis Chaffee. Oliver Martin again lining up to launch this one towards the box. Less than 14 minutes left here in the first half. Milton Academy 1, Loomis Chaffee 0. Martin launches this one high and far off the head of, I think, Greg Yao, and it's recovered by Cleary. Cleary into the box, off the head, and that's in! The header by Loomis Chaffee's number 9, Asa Moskowitz, off the assist from number 10, William Cleary. That ties things up at 1 apiece. Ever since Milton Academy took the lead early in the first half, Loomis Chaffee has been attacking and attacking non-stop. And finally, they get some pay dirt there as they tie things up at 1 apiece with a little less than 14 minutes left in the first half. Recito sends it back to Richter. It's a whole new ball game, tied at 1 apiece. St. Germain sends it over to Hackett. Back to St. Germain. St. Germain has the ball stolen. This is Bush. Bush taps it ahead for Martin, just off the mark. A lucky break for the Mustangs as Buyu scoops it up and rolls it over to Catherson. Catherson passes ahead, and now it gets passed back to Catherson. Surveying his options, decides to dribble. Still dribbling, but he draws a whistle. Free kick now for the Mustangs. Pass goes over to Richter, now over to Catherson, but off the mark. Catherson slides and kicks it ahead, but it's cut off by Sharstein. Floated up for Martin. Martin dribbling with it. Up against the defense of Finn Hackett, and he now is forced to pass it away to Clark. Clark sends it over to McPherson. McPherson pass back to Martin. Martin finally taps it back to Clark. Now Clark over to McPherson. McPherson coming around the edge, cut off by St. Germain, but recovers the deflection, passes back out to Bush. Bush sends it all the way back to Glover. Glover, his kick deflects over to Bush. Bush starts dribbling towards the middle, passes to the middle to Cleary. Cleary's kick deflected and recovered by Buyu. 1-1 the score between Milton Academy and Loomis Chaffee as Buyu punts that one deep, deflects off a shoulder, and now it's a foot race to the ball. Tripped up by Cullinan, and ball is out of bounds. Milton Academy ball, as I believe it was Anthony Rosito who got tripped up. Throw in now goes to, oh no, that is number 13. I believe that's Aiden Chuang. Walker St. Germain now launching it towards the box, catches the wind a bit and is caught out of the air by Pliska. Pliska rolls it in up the far side to Sharstein. Sharstein coming up the far side. Pass to the middle, taken by Richter. Richter pass ahead to Chuang, and he gets surrounded, and ultimately Cullinan boots it away off the head of Hackett. And now taken by Moskowitz. Moskowitz coming up the far side, draws the whistle as he got tangled up with a Milton Academy player. And it looks like we've got a Milton Academy player down hurt. Loomis Chaffee wants to get things moving, it looks like, as I think that is Nick Catherson, who is still down on the field out there on the far side. Clock frozen right now at 10 minutes left in the half, and we've got a yellow card. I didn't see who it was issued to. I'm not even... I think, was it one of the Loomis Chaffee players who got the yellow? I am so confused, folks, but it's a yellow card on somebody. Might be able to find out during halftime, but for right now... For right now, the initial penalty was against Milton Academy, and it is a free kick for the Pelicans. I think this is Sharstein lining up to take this free kick. Here comes the kick, floated towards the box. Off the head of St. Germain and out of the box. Chased down and cleared upfield by Milton Academy, but goes right to McPherson. McPherson dribbling around. Kicks to the middle, finds Chandler. Chandler passes over to number 17, who sends a pass back to Sharstein. Sharstein kicks it ahead. Favorable deflection for a second, but ultimately booted away by Hackett. Now we've got a trip. This is going to be a free kick now for Milton Academy. As quickly the kick goes to the middle to Richter. Richter floating one up, trying to find McGillivray. McGillivray chasing down the ball, but cut off by McPherson. And the ball is lost out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick. As we got some subs now checking in on both sides, it looks like. But for now, this is going to be a goal kick for Pliska. Pliska quickly sends it over to Glover. Glover just dribbling with it. Now sends it over to the near side to McPherson. McPherson taps ahead to Bush. Bush trying to get around. His pass is deflected, but ultimately won by Cleary. Cleary now passes ahead for Martin. Martin now coming around and passes it over to the far side. A deflection and taken by Sharstein. Pass back to Clark. Clark, pass back to Sharstein, now back over to Clark. Clark coming around, dribbling through a hole, pass ahead, finds Chandler. Chandler tries to tap, deflected, recovered by Chandler and fired high. Another substitution coming in for Milton Academy. This is Buyu getting ready for the goal kick after the high shot from Chandler. He launches it past midfield, headed down. Now it's a scrum for it, won by Milton Academy, but they're trying to fight through the defense and can't do it. Glover kicks it away and kicks it right to Bush. Bush, his pass deflected by Hackett, recovered by Chandler. Chandler looking around, trying to decide what to do. Passes over to McPherson. McPherson can't keep control. It's fought off. Luke Randolph can't fight through, though, and it's taken by Chandler. Passed over to Bush. Bush trying to gain the edge, but it's taken away by Wally. Wally trying to fight through Bush now. And ultimately, Bush comes away with it after a hard-fought scrum. Passed back to McPherson, now over to Cleary, now back to Cullinan. Cullinan swings it over to Sharstein. Sharstein passes back to Cullinan. Cullinan floats it over to McPherson. McPherson sends a pass through to Cleary. Cleary pass to Chandler, back to McPherson. McPherson fakes, passes ahead, finds Cleary. Cleary back to McPherson. Now back to Bush. Now ahead to Chandler. Now kicked away by Wally, almost recovered, but ultimately gets deflected over to Martin, who launches it way wide of the net. This will be a goal kick for Milton Academy. Less than 6 minutes left now in the half. Now launched by Buyu. Deflected down and passed back to Catherson. Pass goes ahead along the far side and still fighting for it. Floating pass deflected away by Clark. And it goes ahead to Chandler, who now passes it out to McPherson. McPherson taps it ahead for Chandler. Tapped back, intercepted by Richter. Richter bringing it up. Pass to the middle. Finds Luke Randolph, who kind of slips up on the ball there, and it's stolen away by Clark. Clark now sends a pass, aiming for Martin, who steals it away from Hackett but loses control. Catherson's kick is deflected and recovered by Martin, who's trying to come around the edge, but he slips up, taken by Catherson. Pass to the middle. Luke Randolph dribbling with it. Pass out to the far side. Now this one launched upfield, and it's going to be a race to the ball, won by Cullinan and kicked all the way back to Pliska. This one now sent over to Glover. Glover dribbling upfield. Now launches a leading pass for Bush. Off the mark, might have caught the wind. Just over 4 minutes left in the half now. We're all squared at 1 apiece. The goal scorers so far: Boyd Nako for Milton Academy. Asa Moskowitz for Loomis Chaffee. Throw-in goes back to St. Germain. Walker St. Germain decides to lift one across the field, intercepted by Cleary. Cleary fires, deflected, and it goes wide. This will be a corner for, or no, are they calling goal kick? They call it a goal kick. They're saying it was last touched by the Pelicans. Buyu quickly kicks it over to St. Germain. St. Germain slowly bringing it up. Now kicks it ahead. Off the mark from any potential teammates and taken away by Cullinan. Passed ahead to Clark. Now over to Sharstein. Now over to the far side. Now back to Sharstein. Sharstein kicks it away. It's deflected down by Milton Academy. Pass to the far side. Now pass goes back. That pass intercepted by Clark. Clark has been clogging up those passing lanes across midfield, and it's keeping the Milton Academy offense from getting anywhere. McPherson now sends a pass to Bush, who slips and falls. Now Wally slips and falls, and they're calling handball, no penalty. Wally was hoping for a penalty call on Bush, but didn't get it. Pass back now to the middle to Cleary, now back to Chandler. Chandler taps it out for Bush. Bush back to Chandler. Chandler has it deflected away, but he recovers. Centering kick, deflected back. Now tapped back to McPherson. McPherson launches it towards the box. Deflected away again. This time recovered by Chandler. Passed it back out to Bush. Back to Chandler, and now out to McPherson. Launched towards the box again, and it's going to be caught out of the air by Buyu. Buyu throws it in. Tapped up field, but taken away again by Loomis Chaffee. Loomis Chaffee has been dominating the possession game through much of the first half. As now the pass goes back to Sharstein. Now back to Cullinan. Cullinan passes over to Glover, and now over to McPherson. McPherson ahead to Chandler. Chandler trying to keep control of it. Back to McPherson. Now back to Glover. Glover back to Cullinan. Swung over to Sharstein. Now to the middle and intercepted. I think that was Gavin Randolph with the interception. Now a couple of passes. Now they're working up the far side, but booted out of bounds. This is going to be a throw-in for the Mustangs. Throw-in. Now a pass to Richter. Richter kicks it ahead. Now trying to fight up the far side. Tripped up. And this is going to be a corner kick. Milton Academy lining up with a big chance here in stoppage time. Clock frozen with 2 minutes left in the half. Only the officials know how much time we got left before the break. And Milton Academy hoping to take advantage of a prime opportunity here. This ball kicked in the air, deflected out of the box. And Bush is going to chase after it. Send a long pass across to Martin. Oliver Martin taking it. He's matched up with Hackett. Sends a pass away. A give and go to Martin. Martin fires. Deflections. Juicy chance. Still can't get it in. Wally boots it away. And that ends the half. And what a note to end it on. Loomis Chaffee nearly taking the lead on that last opportunity. But the Milton Academy defense just barely pulling through to keep it a tie score. Your score midway through. Milton Academy 1, Loomis Chaffee 1. Boyd Nako scored early for the Mustangs, but the Pelicans answered back with a goal by Asa Moskowitz. I am Jesse Mayfield Shan on behalf of Milton Academy Live. If you are enjoying the broadcast, be sure to hit that like button. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel to stay on top of all of our live streams of Milton Academy events. Feel free to comment in the live chat. Send your support out to your favorite team or favorite player. Say hello to the other fans watching this one. Or just let me know if there's anything you'd like to say to me. 1-1 all squared at half. Jesse Mayfield Shan on behalf of Milton Academy Live. I'll be back with the second half. Stay tuned. Okay. rosters. That's why I got this up so high. Thank you very much. I do whatever the AD commissions me for, and the athletic director for Milton Academy. Yes. Yes, it's Milton Academy's YouTube channel, Milton Academy Live. Yeah. Well, not every game, because a lot of them play on the same day, because it's really only 2 days a week that they got games. So it's just, you know, like the athletic director will tell me, you're going to cover this game on this day and this game on this day. And
It's published on the championship website. It's like
yes.
So is that you?
No.
No, that's a different thing.
Different thing. It's the guy over there in the high rise.
Oh, and you too. You're also doing.
Yes.
So we could watch them side by side.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. All right. Hello once again. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan on behalf of Milton Academy Live, coming to you live from Helfrich Field on the campus of Loomis Chaffee School in Windsor, Connecticut. Bringing you live coverage of this NEPSAC Class A boys soccer quarterfinal match between the hosting 4th-seeded Loomis Chaffee Pelicans and the visiting 5th-seeded Milton Academy Mustangs. As we get ready to start the second half, we are all squared at 1 goal apiece. Milton Academy came out with a lot of momentum in the opening minutes and got an early goal scored by Boyd Nako, assisted by Zach Sardi Santos. But since then, the possession game has largely been dominated by the host team, Loomis Chaffee, and finally they were able to score the equalizer on a header from Asa Moskowitz, assisted by William Cleary. So both teams will be looking to get a more favorable half in the second half than what they got in the first. Loomis Chaffee will be looking to build on a lot of the momentum they had through most of that first half and try and bury a second one in the net. Several opportunities they had that just shot wide, or a defender got a foot on it. I mean, the Milton Academy defense, got to give credit to them. They've been hustling and scrambling, trying to make things happen. And for the most part, they were successful at keeping Loomis Chaffee off the board, with the exception of that header by Moskowitz. In fact, right up to the very last second of that first half, as it was almost a goal scored by Oliver Martin, but ultimately just barely kept out. Too many white jerseys in the box prevented the potential go-ahead score. Now the two teams have switched sides. The Mustangs in white jerseys with orange jersey numbers will be going from right to left, while the Loomis Chaffee Pelicans in the red jerseys with white jersey numbers will be going left to right. Opening possession goes to Milton Academy, and it looks like we got number 21, Anthony Rosito, getting ready to get us started. There's the whistle, and we're underway. Pass goes back to Henry Richter. His kick deflected and then taken by Loomis Chaffee. Number 17 passes to Cleary and then back to 17. His pass goes back to Sharstein. Sharstein's pass to the middle, kind of scrumped for, and it's won by Boyd Nako. Nako's pass deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Milton Academy. Throw in from Gavin Randolph goes back to Nako. Nako dribbling around, decides to pass it back to Nick Catherson. Now he sends it all the way back to Walker St. Germain, who then sends it further back to the keeper, Mateo Buyu. Buyu's kick goes down the far side, and that kick is deflected all the way back. But then I think that's Finn Hackett who managed to clear it out, but now Glover trying to push it ahead, gets the favorable deflection out of bounds. Throw in for Loomis Chaffee goes to Oliver Martin. His pass slightly off the mark. Glover had it for a second, fights off Rosito. Now a couple of tap passes, it gets to Moskowitz. And now a couple more passes and it goes to Clark. Clark launches this one in the air off the head of Catherson. Chased down by Gavin Randolph. Randolph trying to gain around the edge, but Cleary cuts him off. Passes back to Sharstein, and now ahead to 17 again. Stolen away by Richter. Catherson slips and falls. Everybody's been slipping on the grass out here, as now Milton Academy trying to work on the counterattack here. Boyd Nako, a pass out to Rosito. Rosito dribbling, still dribbling, now deciding to go towards the edge. Rosito turns, centering kick, booted away by Loomis Chaffee and out of bounds. That was Glover with the last boot on it. This will be a throw-in for Milton Academy. Gavin Randolph throws it in to, I believe, Nako. Nako can't control the ball. It's stolen away, and after a couple passes, it pops in the air, headed down by St. Germain, goes to Richter, pass to Catherson. Catherson, with pressure from behind, turns around, finds a lane, starts dribbling, pass to Nako, back to Richter. Richter floats one all the way to the far side, finds his target. Now dribbling towards the middle, a pass ahead, off the mark, kicked back. Richter recovers and passes it. Now it's sent back, and now it's sent ahead. Off the mark, though. Taken by Loomis Chaffee. Milton Academy tried to control it along the edge, but couldn't get there in time. And instead, this will be taken over by the Pelicans. Early substitution here, as it looks like number 6, Aiden Chandler, checks back into the game, replacing Moskowitz. Throw in from, I think, McPherson. Gets deflected back to McPherson, booted into the air. Couple deflections, and ultimately taken by Milton Academy. Passed back to Finn Hackett. Hackett boots it out of bounds. It'll stay Loomis Chaffee ball. Quick throw in goes to Clark. Pass over to Sharstein. Sharstein's kick deflected by Randolph and then headed for his teammate Nako. Or no, Rosito. Rosito couldn't keep control of the ball as it's poked from behind and then ultimately lost out of bounds. And they're going to say Milton Academy ball. Throw in goes back to Catherson. Now passed back to St. Germain. St. Germain dribbling. Floats this one up for Gavin Randolph. His tap finds Recito. Recito trying to find the edge. Centering pass! Just misses the mark. And McPherson boots it away. Milton Academy showing a lot more offensive fire than they did through much of the first half. But again, can they keep this early momentum going as they try and reset once again? This ball lost out of bounds. It'll stay with Milton Academy. Throw in down the line, deflected, and taken away by Loomis Chaffee, and they kick it out of bounds. Back to Milton Academy. Throw in to Richter. He immediately kicks it up the far side rather, but it's ultimately Cullinan who boots it out of bounds, almost right back where the last throw-in was. Throw in down the line, deflects, scrumming for it, and again booted out of bounds. Milton Academy moving slowly but surely as they get another throw-in. Deflected back, Wyatt Wally's pass. Now kicked towards the middle, intercepted by Cleary. Cleary gets around one defender, kicks a leading pass from Martin. Hackett trying to cut it off, just barely cuts it off and kicks it out of bounds. Oliver Martin has been giving the Milton Academy defense fits all game long as this throw-in goes to Chandler. Stolen away quickly. I believe this is Zach Sardi-Santos. Sardi-Santos bringing it across midfield, still going. Now taps it ahead to nobody, deflects back to Boyd Nako. Nako surveying his options, passes for Randolph. Randolph boots it, and it's saved by Pliska. Randolph needed just a little more oomph on that kick, or he needed a teammate to break towards the box. Got neither, and it was an easy save for the Loomis Chaffee keeper. Drops the ball in front of him and now boots it way across midfield. Catherson chases it down, gets shoved from behind by Martin, and that will be a penalty call. So after the foul, we've got a free kick for Milton Academy. Instantly intercepted by Martin. Oh my goodness. Oliver Martin, extra pass, shot, that's in! Moskowitz again. Milton Academy tried to rush the free kick off the penalty, and it went right to the foot of Oliver Martin. He had a breakaway towards the box, but decided to go for the extra pass, and Asa Moskowitz buried it for his second goal of the match. 38 minutes, 23 seconds left here in this contest. Loomis Chaffee now leads Milton Academy 2-1. Now Milton Academy facing the deficit for the first time all match. Nako passes ahead to Sardi-Santos, tapped back for Nako. Nako trying to make things move. Sends a pass, tapped back for Nako again. Nako trying to fight through several defenders, can't do it, but keeps the ball, fakes, fires, misses high and wide. Boyd Nako is trying to make things happen there. He is scored the only goal for Milton Academy thus far. It came early in the first half. Nako was looking for a passing lane on that play, but just didn't have one. Pliska now with the goal kick. Deflection. And they're going to call the penalty against Sardi-Santos for an over-the-back on Clark. Cullinan with the quick free kick over to McPherson on the far side. McPherson decides to send it back to Glover. Over to Cullinan. Cullinan now over to Sharstein. Now a long kick back to Pliska. Chaffee taking its time. Pliska now kicks it off the head of Moskowitz. Chased down by Sharstein and sent back to Cullinan. Cullinan sends it back to Pliska. Pliska kicks it over to Glover. Glover surveys, boots it across midfield, off the head of Hackett. Taken by Cleary, and now Bush sends it back to McPherson, back to Cleary. Cleary taps it back. Clark slips but takes the ball. Comes around, passes ahead, finds Chandler. Chandler's pass cut off and kicked away by Richter. Now Wally sends a pass, finds Nako. Nako boots it, finds Gavin Randolph. Gavin Randolph, slide tackled, knocked out of bounds by Cullinan. Subs now checking in for Milton Academy as they get ready to throw this ball in. Throw in now goes to Luke Randolph. Randolph fighting off his defender. Centering kick finds Sardi Santos. A tap goes back to Sardi Santos, trying to fake out the defender. Can't do it. Recovered by Luke Randolph. Luke Randolph lost control of the ball. Catherson slides in, kicks it towards the box. A couple of deflections. More deflections. Still more. Still deflecting. Still more off the heads, and finally taken by Moskowitz. Moskowitz's pass is immediately cut off by Richter. Richter now dribbling with it. Pass ahead to Luke Randolph. Randolph trying to come around. Dribbling towards the middle. Pass right to Clark. Clark kicks it away. Recovered by St. Germain. St. Germain surveying his options. Kicks it. Deflects out the foot of Sharstein. Now off the head of Sardi Santos. Taken by Luke Randolph. Pass to the middle to Rosito. Rosito coming around the edge. Tries to fake, but it's poked away by Cullinan. Slide kick out of bounds, and that'll be Milton Academy ball. More subs for Milton Academy. As the Mustangs trying to bring the attack and get the equalizer here. Sardi Santos bringing the throw in. He throws it in back to Catherson. Catherson passed back to Richter. Richter fakes out his defender and then passes it over to Catherson. Catherson passes to Sardi Santos, who gets swarmed, deflected away, taken by Moskowitz. Pass to the middle to Cleary. Cleary sends it ahead, but his target slipped up. Taken away by Milton Academy. Now Sardi Santos lifts one into the air, off ahead, and taken by Clark. Clark passed back to Glover. His kick deflected, but recovered by Chandler, sent back to Clark. He lifts it over to Moskowitz. Moskowitz has it ripped away by Catherson, and a foul call on Moskowitz for pulling at Catherson's jersey from behind. And it looks like Moskowitz is down hurt. Clock will stop with 33 minutes and 15 seconds as Loomis Chaffee will have to bring in a sub. Moskowitz looking a little hobbled, but walking off on his own power. He has scored both goals for Loomis Chaffee. And for the Pelicans fans, they certainly hope that he'll come back soon. But for right now, this will be a free kick off of the foul call, as Walker St. Germain getting ready to kick this one off for Milton. Here's the kick from St. Germain towards the box, and it's just going to sail and one hop into the arms of Pliska. Pliska launches this one across midfield, Deflects into open space. Booted away by Sharstein. Race to the ball now is won by Catherson and kicked back to Buyu. Buyu surveying. Oh, this is dangerous. Deflected out of bounds, and they're going to say goal kick. That was almost disaster at the hands of number 17, Gavin Latorno. Pass now over to St. Germain out of the goal kick. St. Germain surveying, launches one. Long pass aiming for Luke Randolph. Randolph just can't get his head on it, and it's cut off by Cullinan. Cullinan kicks it upfield off the foot of Latorno, taken by Chandler. Chandler now kicking it across the field for Bush. Deflected, but then stolen away by Milton. Henry Richter kicks it ahead, finds his target. I believe that is number 19, Kemper Tapia, as it's now booted away again by Cullinan. I think that's number 18, Jack Flowers, who just threw it in. Scrum for the ball. It's kicked away and goes to Cleary. Cleary sends it up to Bush along the far side. Bush passes ahead. Taps back to Bush. Bush looking for Latorno. Latorno trying to get around Catherson. Fighting his way around. Centering pass. Deflected away by Richter. Chased down by Latorno. Pass back to Sharstein. Kicked into the box. Headed out. Right back to Clark. Clark launches that one off the side of his foot. And this will be a goal kick for Milton Academy. 2-1, the Loomis Chaffee lead here in the second half. Just over 31 minutes left to play as St. Germain swings it over to Richter. Richter launches this one. Now deflects. Tapped back. Long pass to nobody. That kick from number 15, Will Gallagher. Finally scooped up by Pliska. Pliska taking his time. Now launches this kick. Off the head of Martin. Now off the head of Flowers. Now off the deflection. That was Sardi Santos who kicked it ahead. Finds Gallagher. Gallagher a pass through. Cut off by Cullinan. And he boots it out. Flowers takes it. Trying to fight up the far side against Bush. And finally backup comes in and boots it out of bounds. Throw in. I think that's Gallagher trying to work his way through, but too many red shirts. Booted away by, I believe, Cleary off the head of Richter. Off the head of Clark. Downed and taken by Chuang. Aiden Chuang now dribbling with some space. Pass out for Luke Randolph. Randolph surveying, fires! Deflected and kicked away by Cullinan. Deflects back to number 19, Matthias Kemper Tapia. Now a pass. Now a floater towards the box, headed by Cullinan. Being chased down by Gallagher, couldn't keep it in bounds. We got some subs checking in on both sides, looks like. Pliska lining up for another goal kick. Sends a liner down the far side to Bush, who sends it back to McPherson. McPherson launches it high, cut off and headed away by, I believe, Hackett. Luke Randolph taps it over for Kemper Tapia. Pass back to Catherson. Catherson coming up the near side, still dribbling through, taps it, finds Luke Randolph. Randolph passes it over for McGillivray, offsides. Our first offsides call of the day, and it goes against Milton Academy. Now Pliska taking the free kick off of the offside call. Cross midfield, deflects off ahead. Now kicked ahead by Luke Randolph. Randolph slips and falls as he lost track of the ball. Kicked away by McGillivray to Kemper Tapia. Kemper Tapia trying to fight off Cleary. Gets a pass ahead to Gallagher. Gallagher taps it over for Chuang. Chuang trying to lead Gallagher. It's a foot race. Gallagher's kick deflected by McPherson and out of bounds or offsides or something. Or are they calling a foul on Loomis Chaffee? Oh, that's a foul on Loomis Chaffee. That's going to be a foul called on McPherson. This is going to be a free kick just outside the box for Milton Academy. Quick kick goes back to Richter. Richter launches it and headed out by Clark. And it just stays ahead of the flag for a throw-in instead of a corner kick. Thanks in no small part to the wind. Throw in to Catherson, over to Richter, back to Catherson. Too many players in there, and they lose control of the ball. Sharstein kicks it away. Martin taps it over for Chandler. Chandler, his kick deflects off the head of Richter. And now after another couple deflections, Latorno trying to take it. But it's taken away by Luke Randolph. His pass deflected, stolen by Chandler. Chandler passed to Latorno, back to Chandler, now over to Martin. Martin dribbling in retreat, passes it back to Cleary. Cleary pass ahead for Chandler, tapped over for Latorno. Latorno back to Cleary. Cleary trying to fight his way through. Centering pass, and that kick is launched well over the bar by Bush. Part of the problem is that Loomis Chaffee has been able to win a lot of one-on-one and even, handicapped situations with their ball handling skills. And as a result, they've been able to, kind of force the possessions to keep going and provide that offensive pressure against Milton Academy. Catherson now dribbling through, cut off by Cleary, deflected out of bounds. And it's going to be Loomis Chaffee ball. Quick throw in. Pass back from Chandler to Cleary. Pass head to Moskowitz. Now over to Clark. Clark dribbling, sends a long pass back to McPherson. Ahead to Clark. Clark lifts it off ahead. Deflected down. And kicked away by Cleary. Cleary now lifts this one high. Martin had it for a second, but it's kicked away by Hackett. Sliding in and taking that one, I believe, was Flowers. And I think, I'm not sure if they called offsides or a foul, but either way, this is going to be a free kick for Milton Academy. Buyu kicks it over. Now sent to the middle to McGillivray, but he missed it, taken by Moskowitz. Moskowitz dribbling with it. His kick deflected by Richter, and then recovered. Now sent high in the air, downed by Cleary. Cleary kicks it back to Sharstein. Pass ahead to Chandler. Back to Sharstein again. Passed further back to Cullinan. Cullinan sends it back to Pliska. Pliska, long kick over to Cullinan, but he lost control of it, out of bounds. Milton Academy trying to come here for the throw in here. Luke Randolph surveying his options. Throw in finds Kemper Tapia. Kemper Tapia's kick is deflected out of bounds, and it's Milton Academy ball. Catherson throws it in back to Luke Randolph. Randolph decides to take off and start dribbling. Now a pass, finds Chuang, leading pass, but a little too far, scooped up by Pliska. Pliska slices this one into the air. After the bounces, it's downed by Catherson. Catherson boots it into the air. Taken by Clark off the deflection. Pass back for Cullinan, who sends it back to Pliska. Almost cut off by McGillivray. That was almost disaster for Loomis Chaffee. McPherson heads it, but then cut off by, I believe, Flowers. And now Richter sends a long pass ahead, cut off by McPherson. McPherson kicks it away, intercepted, but only for a second as Loomis Chaffee takes it again. Chandler bringing speed up the middle. Now a leading pass looking for Moskowitz. Moskowitz has it on the near side. Moskowitz trying to dribble into the box against Catherson. And Catherson wins that battle and steals it away. Pass ahead to Luke Randolph. Randolph coming around, has the ball on the near side. Excuse me, kick to the middle, finds Chuang. Chuang has it deflected away by Glover, but goes all the way to the far side. Milton Academy still with possession. This is number 20, who couldn't keep control of it. Cleary takes it off the deflection. Long pass aimed at Martin, sliding in his Hackett, but Martin recovers the loose ball. Now sends a pass back, now to the middle to Chandler. Chandler passing it over to Martin. Martin now passes out to Clark. Clark fires, deflected by Catherson and booted away by St. Germain. Couple passes, it goes ahead to Luke Randolph. Randolph sends a pass out to the far side to Kemper Tapia. Kemper Tapia gets shoved to the ground and draws the foul call from Sharstein. The free kick is going to be taken by Catherson. Surveying his options, decides to pass it to Randolph, back to Catherson again. Catherson dribbling with it and loses the ball, stolen away, and passed to Martin. Martin dribbling with it, hops over the slide, gets around another defender, and now sends the pass ahead up the far side. This is Bush. Bush starting to cut towards the middle, running out of room, passes it back to Clark. Clark sends one over to Sharstein. Sharstein sends it ahead to Moskowitz. Moskowitz to the middle, deflected but recovered by Cleary. Cleary dribbling in, taps it for Chandler. Chandler trying to fight off the defenders. Pass over to Cleary. Cleary turns around, looking, starts to dribble, booted away by Catherson, but goes right to Sharstein. Sharstein passes back into Chandler, now tapped over for Moskowitz, over to Cleary, deflected towards the middle, and ultimately booted away by Milton Academy. Goes all the way back to Glover, now passes back to Cleary, ahead to Chandler. Chandler sends a leading pass, but Flowers cuts that one off. Now booted ahead by, I believe, St. Germain, and now a long kick trying to lead for Aiden Chuang, and it's kicked back from Glover to Pliska, and then back to Glover, ahead to Clark. Clark now over to Cullinan, now over to Sharstein. Sharstein boots this one across the field, finds a wide open Martin. And it looks like we've got an injured Mustang. I think this is Walker St. Germain. That's a tough loss for Milton Academy. He has been a defensive stalwart for much of this game. He's a big reason why the Mustangs aren't facing a bigger deficit at this moment. 19 minutes, 46 seconds left here in the second half. Loomis Chaffee 2, Milton Academy 1. So a live ball, and it's kicked all the way back to Cullinan. Cullinan passes ahead, stolen away by Randolph. Randolph taps it to the middle, finds Kemper Tapia. Kemper Tapia sending it up the far side, too far out of bounds. Throw in goes back to Glover. Glover sends it back to Pliska. Pliska boots it away. Deflects off ahead. Kemper Tapia couldn't keep control of it. And now it's Clark with the ball. Clark's kick deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Loomis Chaffee. Now Clark sends a pass back to Cullinan. Now over to Sharstein. Ahead to Clark. Clark sends it back. Kick from Sharstein. Goes all the way back to Pliska, who launches it away before Chuang can get there. McPherson now with the ball, has to kick it back to Cullinan. Cullinan sends it up the middle, finds Chandler. Chandler now sending a pass down the far side for Bush. Bush keeps the ball in bounds, and there's a delayed offsides call. A couple more subs checking in for Milton Academy. Among them, Boyd Nako, Anthony Recito, and Gavin Randolph. Catherson throwing this one in. Deflects off a foot. Now booted into the air. Now downed, but cut off. And I think that's St. Germain back in the game, as this one's deflected ahead by Aiden Rodriguez. Gavin Randolph now with the ball, trying to get around Sharstein. Gavin Randolph bringing the speed up the near side. Pass to the middle, kicked away, goes back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez now kicks it, and it's cleared out by Cleary. Goes back to, my mistake, number 18, Jack Flowers. His pass to Richter. Richter has it wrestled away, but Richter trying to battle for it back. And Richter ultimately takes it and passes it back to Hackett. Hackett kicks it across midfield, off the head of Glover, off another head. And we got a foul call, and it looks like we got a card. This foul, no card, but it is a foul call against Loomis Chaffee. Less than 17 minutes left in this one. Milton Academy still trails by 1. Quick free kick over to Nako. Nako pass, give and go. Nako fires just over the bar! Almost the equalizer from Boyd Nako off the quick give and go, but just a bit high. Of course, Boyd Nako has 1 goal already today, but right now that 1 goal is not enough for the Mustangs to stay in this one. Pliska boots it towards midfield, deflects off the head of Cleary, now deflects down. Rodriguez kicks it away, kicked back by Cullinan, taken by Nako. Nako kicks it ahead, and now booted away. Now this will be a throw-in for Milton Academy. Rodriguez sends it back to Flowers. Flowers passes ahead, finds Nako. Nako passes to Sardi Santos. His kick intercepted by Sharstein and booted all the way over to Mateo Buyu. Buyu has to kick it over to Flowers. Flowers dribbles, passes ahead for Sardi Santos, off the mark and taken away. Passed back to Cullinan. Cullinan over to Glover, now all the way back to Pliska. Pliska boots this one away, finds or looks for McPherson, and now ball lost out of bounds. Or no, it was a foul call rather. Now Loomis Chaffee with the ball, just passing it around. Pliska boots it away, off the head of Flowers, and taken by Hackett, passed over to Richter. Richter lifts this one up, looking for Gavin Randolph. Gavin Randolph fires just wide! And they called offsides anyway. Pliska now with the free kick off of the offsides call. Pliska launches this one. Off the head of Rodriguez. Off the head of Clark. And a favorable deflection for Loomis Chaffee. This is Chandler, cut off and deflected out of bounds by Finn Hackett. The throw-in will come from Sharstein. Tapped over for Martin. Martin slips and falls, And no whistle. Everybody just kind of paused for a second, but they keep going. Pass ahead to Rosito. He taps over to nobody, and McPherson boots it away. Bounces over to Moskowitz. Moskowitz pass back to Cleary. Cleary fighting off his defender, trying to spin around, keeps his balance, gets around the edge for a second, but can't gain the edge, has to pass back to Moskowitz. Moskowitz centering kick deflected, deflects back into the box. Richter is there, fakes, gets the ball away to Rodriguez, who boots it out of bounds. Little over 13 minutes left. Throw in, tapped back, passed over to Clark. Clark sending it towards the box, caught out of the air by Buyu. Rolls it into Catherson. Catherson bringing it up the far side. He's being cut off by Bush. No foul call there, and it's taken by McPherson. McPherson gets it to Clark. Clark fighting off several Milton Academy players and then passing it back to Sharstein. Sharstein lifts it off the head of Martin and out of bounds. Couple subs now coming in for Milton. Looks like one of them is Wyatt Wally, and one of them is Walker St. Germain back into the game, replacing Aiden Rodriguez. Catherson throws it in for Nako. Stolen by Chandler. Passed over to Bush. Bush sends it to the box, but they couldn't get a foot on it, and instead it's picked up by Buyu. Punted towards the far side for Wally. Wally passes back to Flowers. Flowers to the middle, intercepted by Clark. Clark fights off some players and draws a foul call. Loomis Chaffee lining up for the free kick here off the foul call. 11.5 minutes left. Loomis Chaffee leads Milton Academy 2-1. There's a signal. Martin boots it into the air. Buyu catches it out of the air. Rolls it over to Hackett. Hackett sends it over to St. Germain. St. Germain surveying his options. Boots it across the field off the foot of Cullinan. And they're going to call a penalty on Sardi Santos. Interesting. It seemed like they were both pushing and shoving, and if anything, Cullinan was over Sardi Santos' back, but the officials know the rules better than I do. As Sharstein boots this free kick, it deflects over, but cut off by Hackett and passed back to St. Germain. Swung over to Flowers, sent ahead to Richter, who launches it, but cut off by Glover. Glover now sends a pass to the far side, out of bounds. Throw in, deflected back to Richter. Pass, Cleary trying to take it away, gets it to Clark. Clark across midfield, pass trying to lead Martin, but Buyu comes in and scoops it up, but Buyu looks hurt. Buyu staying in, fighting it off as he rolls it into St. Germain. St. Germain fakes and passes to Catherson. Catherson sends it up the line to Randolph. Pass to Nako, but tapped ahead to nobody, and Cullinan boots it back across midfield. Bounces over St. Germain. St. Germain trying to fight off Martin, and he gets the ball. And now passes upfield to Nako, who swings it over to Sardi Santos. Sardi Santos ahead to Nako. Nice touch. And now a pass from Luke Randolph to Gavin Randolph, and offsides again. Those offsides calls have been plaguing Gavin Randolph. for much of this game. And now it'll be a free kick with less than 9 minutes left. Loomis Chaffee trying to maintain their lead and advance to the semifinals. Milton Academy trying to keep their season alive. Pliska boots this one into the air. Off ahead, taken by Martin. Pass to a wide open Moskowitz. He fires, saved by Buyu. He throws it over for Wally. Wally kicks it upfield, out of bounds. McPherson throws it back to Clark. Clark passes it back. Now it's booted into the air. Finds Martin. Pass for Chandler. Give and go attempt. Cut off by Flowers. Kicked out of bounds. This will now be a corner kick for the Pelicans. Moskowitz almost had goal number 3 on that last possession, but he just couldn't get a good foot on the ball. Now we've got a corner coming from Martin and caught out of the air again by Buyu. Buyu rifles it, intercepted by Cleary. Cleary slide tackle by St. Germain, and they call the foul on St. Germain. Now a free kick going to be taken from Loomis Chaffee just outside the box. Looks like it's going to be taken by Oliver Martin. He's flanked by Chandler. Chandler fires it himself, and it's taken by Buyu. Buyu drops it for St. Germain, who now kicks it across midfield. But it's booted back by Glover. Now off the head of Bush. Kicked away by St. Germain, but intercepted by Chandler. Passed over for Moskowitz. Moskowitz taps it for Martin, who fires high. We've seen a number of high fastballs from both teams today. Perhaps none closer than that shot from Boyd Nako earlier this half that could have been the equalizer. 6 minutes left. Buyu sends it towards midfield. Off the head of Cleary, off the foot of Sharstein, off the foot of Chandler, and now Nako taps it ahead for Luke Randolph. Luke Randolph trying to lead Sardi Santos. Sardi Santos cuts in, fires, misses high. Again, more high fastballs. A nice string of passes from Milton Academy, but couldn't quite finish. Now a goal kick from Pliska. This one booted towards midfield. Off the head of Sardi Santos. Now off the head. And now Luke Randolph sends it over to Gavin Randolph. Gavin Randolph dribbling. Turns around. Passes it back to... And now a pass over to Boyd Nako. Nako trying to fight through a defender. Shot stopped by Pliska. Now they're trying to keep up the attack. It's floated up into the box, off ahead, and they call a foul on Milton Academy. I think they're saying that one of the Milton players undercut a Loomis Chaffee player that was jumping for the ball. I mean, that's the only thing I could see. Another free kick from Pliska. Off the deflections, it goes back to McPherson. Popped into the air, taken by St. Germain, but stolen away by Chandler. Chandler now passes for Bush on the far side. Bush dribbling with it, trying to gain the edge. Can't gain the edge. but I think he may have drawn a penalty call. If he drew a foul call, that's going to be a foul call in the box. This is going to be a penalty kick for Loomis Chaffee. Milton Academy can't believe the call. Milton Academy trying to protest the call, but nothing doing there. And now a huge chance for the Pelicans to put a dagger in this one. Who else but Asa Moskowitz? He will be taking this free kick, this penalty kick for the hat trick. Mateo Buyu, the only thing standing between him and goal number 3. Here's the whistle. Here comes Moskowitz. Shot, and it's in. Goal number 3 for Asa Moskowitz. The senior forward from Waterbury Center, Vermont, may have just put the dagger in Milton Academy's season. 3 minutes and 57 seconds left in regulation. And Loomis Chaffee now leads Milton Academy 3-1. Milton Academy now trying to make things move again. St. Germain launches this one into the air. It goes off the head of Cullinan. Now off the head of Gavin Randolph. Booted into the air. Off the head of St. Germain again. And into open space. Gavin Randolph tries to swoop in and take it, but it's kicked out by Sharstein instead. Throw in goes back to Boyd Nako. Nako dribbling around, now floats it over to Richter. Henry Richter looking around, launches this one towards the box, off ahead but off the wrong way. Believe that deflected off of Gallagher. And now Asa Moskowitz checks out to some applause from the Loomis Chaffee crowd here, as well as his teammates on the bench. An impressive 3-goal outing as Pliska gets ready for the goal kick. Bounces over and taken by Richter. Pass intercepted by Latorno. Now a couple of kicks, and Nako takes it. Nako dribbling over to the far side, running out of room, has to turn around, keeps control of the ball, taps it over to Richter. Richter now dribbling through, sends a pass ahead, and now it's tapped back to Sardi Santos. Pass ahead, tapped back to Sardi Santos again, now attempting for the far side of the box, trying to fight off several players. I think that's Finn Hackett, who does not draw the favorable deflection. And this is going to be a goal kick. Or is it a corner? I think the refs are a little confused about what the call is. We got one calling goal kick and one calling corner. And we're now in stoppage time. The clock is frozen at 2 minutes. And it is a corner kick. So after all that confusion, it is going to be a corner kick for Milton Academy. A little hard to see, but this is Wyatt Wally taking the corner kick, sending it towards the box, and saved by Pliska. 3-1, the score remains in favor of Loomis Chaffee as Pliska sends his teammates upfield and now launches this one well across midfield, downed by St. Germain. And St. Germain tries to launch it ahead. Bounces over everybody and scooped up easily by Pliska. And it looks like he's just going to dribble with it. Smart clock-killing strategy as he just waits for a Milton Academy player before he scoops it up in his hands. Now Pliska drops it in front of him and kicks this one upfield. Downed by Bush. Bush just dribbling with it. And now Latorno takes it, pass ahead to Cleary, pass ahead to Chandler. Chandler gets tripped up from behind and the foul is called on Hackett. That is Chandler still down on the field. After he's helped up. Loomis Chaffee now getting ready for the free kick, and they just tap it over for Bush, who dribbles straight for the corner. Loses the ball, and this will be a goal kick for Milton Academy. Buyu quickly sends it over to Flowers, and there's your ball game. The final score, the Loomis Chaffee Pelicans 3, the Milton Academy Mustangs 1. The 4th-seeded Pelicans will now move on to the semifinals, where they will face the winner of the 1 versus 8 seed game. While for Milton Academy, their 2021 season comes to an end. On behalf of Milton Academy Live, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, happy to have had the privilege to have brought you this and other games from this fall season. If you enjoyed the broadcast, be sure to hit that like button, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all of our upcoming live streams, including this Saturday's Todd Marble Bowl that the Milton Academy football team will be taking part in. That will be back here in Windsor, Connecticut. Stay tuned for that. But for now, as we say goodbye to another season of Milton Academy boys soccer, I'd just like to give a shout out to the senior class of 2022. You know, it hasn't been the most easy or conventional career for any of these young men given what happened in 2020 and all they had to do to come back. But what a strong season to close things out for Milton Academy, even if the finale isn't what they wanted. So with that in mind, let's give a shout out to the senior class of 2022. First off, from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 2, Griffin McGillivray. From Hong Kong, number 5, Greg Yao. From Ipswich, Massachusetts, number 6, Finn Hackett. From Needham, Massachusetts, number 7, Wyatt Wally. From Newton, Massachusetts, number 8, Henry Richter. From Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, number 9, Gavin Randolph. From Newton, Massachusetts, number 10, Zach Sardi Santos. From Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, number 11, Luke Randolph. From Newton Center, Massachusetts, number 14, Noah Lippa. From Tirana, Albania, number 16, Boyd Nako. From Natick, Massachusetts, number 19, Matthias Kemper-Tapia. From Wellesley, Massachusetts, number 20, Conrad Brown. From Georgetown, Massachusetts, number 24, Quince Berkeley. That is your senior class of 2022 for the Milton Academy boys soccer team. 3-1, your final score. Loomis Chaffee takes the win off of 3 goals from Asa Moskowitz. Milton Academy took the initial lead early in the first half off a goal from Boyd Nako, assisted by Zach Sardi Santos. But from there, it was all Loomis Chaffee on the scoreboard. So, from Helfrich Field on the campus of Loomis Chaffee School in Windsor, Connecticut, on behalf of Milton Academy Live, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.